What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports, and oh my, Carter Hart. Carter Hart and his just absolute greatness. My goodness, Carter Hart. He was simply fantastic tonight in a Flyers victory over the Vegas Golden Knights. But hey, before we get into all this, so we can at least cherish this performance by Carter Hart, like I said, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And before we get into all of this stuff, the most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that. So if you are a new viewer looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be at, depending on the outcome, great or miserable, depending on that outcome. Also, if you are a current viewer of the channel, I'm grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So that could be tickets to, a Flyers game. Maybe you can go see Carter Hart if you want to put yourself through that. You can also go see Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, James Harden at the Wells Fargo Center for the Sixers to get some NBA tickets there. Also, when MLB decides, decide everything. And then when eventually football returns, you can definitely not pass up $20 that's free in your pocket. Use that for beer, food at the arena. You just cannot pass it up. So use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek today. So the Flyers win by a score of 2-1 over the Vegas Golden Knights. And it's a kind of an ugly game. Kind of a very, very ugly game. The Flyers got outshot 48-21 in this game. So that just shows how much Vegas dominated. But it also kind of felt like at the same time, Vegas was very sloppy on their own right. Robin Lehner, especially early on, Robin Lehner just looked a little weird. Like he looked a little slow. I know, I was in the press box today, so there were some Vegas reporters up there, and they were discussing that Robin Lehner could be dealing with some type of, torn something in his shoulder. So maybe that's the reason why he looked a little slow out there, but he's really being forced to play because they really have nothing else to use. But yeah, but still, Vegas was definitely the better team throughout the entire night. The Flyers cashed in on some early chances in the first period, and oh my God, the power play just continues to be ugly. The power play, my God, it is so ugly to watch. This I don't even know. It feels like every time the Flyers get a different power play, it either gets worse or not. Either gets worse. It just gets worse every single power play they get. It just they're passing it way too much. They're not taking the shots, even though you shouldn't be listening to the crowd that's just yelling at you, shoot. But still, it's just what are you guys doing? Their entries are goddamn awful. They can't keep the puck in the zone. And the power plays just continue to get worse and worse and worse. And it's just, I don't even, it's not even sad to see anymore. It's kind of funny because every time you see a power play for the Flyers, well, Flyers come to the power play. Oh, that's momentum for the other team because, the Flyers are not going to score. Should it be, I guess a plan, like a team philosophy when going up against the Flyers that, hey, let's give this team power plays because they're not going to score because their power play is goddamn atrocious. And maybe that should be some teams' game plans going into against the Flyers because, oh my goodness, this team's power play is so bad. And the Flyers, both teams were very undisciplined in this game. Flyers get 4 power plays. Vegas gets 5 power plays. And I know Vegas power play isn't nothing to scream at or anything like that, but still, they have a lot of dangerous players, and the more times often than not, if you give them way too many power plays in the game, they're going to score on one eventually, and that's what happened in this game as well. The Flyers just took way too many penalties, and oh my goodness, especially at the end of the game where they just couldn't get the puck out of their zone. Ivan Provorov with probably one of the worst shifts I actually seen in my life. Ices the puck to start the shift because the Flyers were hemmed in their own zone for the final couple of minutes when Vegas pulled Robin Lehner. And then when they get the faceoff, they lose the faceoff. They can't get the puck out of the zone once again. And Ivan Provorov, what are you doing? He dumps the puck over the glass and he gets a delay of the game penalty. Man, what are you doing? You're just giving this team an instant chance to tie the game late. You just are, but thankfully, they didn't tie it because I did not want to see overtime, in my honest opinion. I did not want that to ruin Carter Hart's 47 save performance, man. Carter Hart was just simply fantastic. And there was one sequence, I think it was in the third period, where Vegas got one of their power plays where for some reason Carter Hart just loses his stick so much. I have no idea why. But during this instance, he's sprawling one side to make a save off a one-timer, then Jack Eichel on the other side. Carter Hart's to slide over to make the other save. And there was one sequence in the second period where I have no idea how Vegas did not score here, where players are running into Carter Hart. Carter Hart somehow, I don't know if he made the save or not, or it got deflected by one of the Flyers, but somehow Marcia Show didn't score. I'm just like, what is going on? How is this puck not going in the net? And Vegas had a couple of power play chances too in the first, like when during each of their power play chances, like they had like stuff go through the crease. I have no idea like how they, missed. I don't know how these pucks just didn't go in. I guess you can just chalk it up to like, one of those nights where you just could not beat the opposing goaltender. And thank God Carter Hart did that tonight because he was just simply fantastic. So going over a little bit of this game with the goal scorers in here, there was only 3, 2 of them by the Flyers and one of them by the Vegas Golden Knights. So the Flyers, early on, they're getting dominated. Of course, Vegas is the way better team. But the Flyers, they, Justin Braun, this is in one shift as well. He blocks a shot. I think it goes off of his hand as well. I don't think this was actually in the same shift, but still, one shift, he blocked a shot with his hand. He went to the bench. He was grimacing a little bit, but in another couple of shifts later, he's in the offensive zone for the Flyers. He lets one fly. It kind of knuckles a little bit. And this is a very bad goal to give up if you're Robin Lehner because it becomes a 1-0 Flyers lead. And there was no deflections. There was no screens. I have no idea. I guess the puck just knuckled balled him and went by him and into the net. He just missed it. And it became a 1-0 Flyers lead from there. Then Vegas gets a couple of power plays. They don't score. Flyers actually kill them off. Flyers got a couple of power plays. My God, they look goddamn atrocious. The Flyers' second power play in this period, it looks even more atrocious. And we're just sitting up here in the press box like, oh my God, what are you doing? And then as the second power play ends, the Flyers rush up the ice with Lawton, Provorov, and Lindblom. Lawton tries to, take an initial shot. He loses the puck. Lindblom gets it. He wraps it around the net, and he beats Robin Lehner and becomes 2-0. We're just like all up in the press box like, what the fuck just happened? Like I got one guy next to me just, what? What? You don't score on the power play. It looks atrocious, and then you do that. Look, seriously, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. But hey, became 2-0 Flyers lead going into the intermission. I guess that's all you can take at that point. Oh my. But hey, you're up 2-0 against the Vegas Golden Knights, and honestly, I don't. It was probably your best period of the night, in my honest opinion, because Vegas just dominated complete rest of the way. And so you go into the second period, you're up 2-0. Try to score more goals or try to generate some more offense against this team, but Vegas really dominated that second period. The Flyers were insanely sloppy, even though there were some chances. The Flyers had a couple of odd man rushes that got broken up. They weren't able to get shots on net. But eventually, like I said, you just give Vegas more and more power plays, regardless of how, not as atrocious as the Flyers are, but Vegas is nothing to scream about. But the more power plays you give them, they're going to score on it eventually, and that eventually does happen, instantly on this power play is Evgeny Dadonov in the slot off of a pass from Eichel and Marcia Show to make it a 2-1 Flyers lead. And those would be the goals for the rest of the game. Even though Vegas gets a couple of more power plays, they don't score on them. Carter Hart doing his thing, making some saves, and he just looks really, really good. And that's really, really fun to see. My goodness, I just can't rant more, not even rant. I don't even say, oh, I'm ranting about Carter Hart. No, I'm raving about Carter Hart. I think that's the thing I should be saying because he was just simply fantastic in this game. And also something to talk about too, Kevin Hayes. We were talking about this up in the press box, me and a couple of the other guys. Kevin Hayes does look, a little bit faster. He looks a little bit, healthier out there, I guess you should put it. And maybe this is Kevin Hayes, finally recovering from the surgeries that he has had and also going through that little bit of an infection problem that he went through as well, where he had to get the fluids taken out of him or some type of liquid taken out of him or something like that, or put fluids into him. I have no idea what it was, but they described it as an infection in his groin area. So maybe he is finally healed from that, and this is probably some of the, a little bit of the effects that you're seeing. He's not scoring offense wise, but he does look like he's a lot better out there. He looks more comfortable. He looks healthier. I think that's just the bottom line of this entire thing. He just looks incredibly healthier, and that's very nice to see from Kevin Hayes. Even though I was one of the ones, if he was going to be an injury risk, just let him heal for the rest of the season. Don't let him play. But Kevin Hayes, he's pushing himself. He's pushing the team. Hey, I want to go out there. I want to go play. So good on Kevin. And he looks very fine out there. Hopefully he gets better as the season progresses, as we get towards to next season. And just going through some of the other stats in this game, shots on goal per period. Vegas completely outshot the Flyers in every period in this game. They had almost above 15 shots in every period. First period, 14-8 in favor of Vegas. Second period, 17-8. Third period, 17-5. So Vegas was just dominating the offensive zone this entire game. But 3 stars. 3 stars were all Flyers. First star, Carter Hart, obviously. Second star, Justin Braun. And third star, Oscar Lindblom. So, hey, the Flyers get that victory, and I guess you could be very more ecstatic about that. And look, some of the other percentages in this game as well. Face-off percentage went to Vegas, 54 to 46% in favor of them. Vegas goes 1 for 5 on the power play. Flyers go 0 for 4. A physical game, 27 hits for the Flyers, so they really took him to him physically, and a lot of block shots in this game. Joel Farabee had a couple of block shots, especially because there were so many power plays in this game and so much offensive zone protection time by the Flyers. And it's surprising too, Vegas gave the puck away 11 times, and I'm just looking at this, I'm like, what? So that even shows you that Vegas had a sloppy game, and they still dominated the way that they did. But hey, Carter Hart is the major reason that the Flyers came out on top in this game. And I want to look at the standings just for a little bit, because why not? Because we always do that here. So after this win for the Flyers, they are now 18, 28, and 10 with 46 points. They are still last place in the Metropolitan Division. They're 1 point behind the New Jersey Devils, who have 47. They also have 57 games played. So I guess if you're a fan that's looking for the Flyers, to be at the bottom of the standings as possible, there's your gift right there. And looking at the entire league so far, the Flyers are the 6th worst team still in the National Hockey League. The teams that are below them, so the Flyers are 27th overall in the NHL. The teams that are below them, Ottawa Senators with 45 points, Buffalo with 44, then Seattle with 39, Arizona with 38, and Montreal with 37. Wow, those teams are actually catching up to Seattle. That's very, very surprising for how far those two teams were out. Wow. And I guess that just shows you how bad Seattle is as well. But hey, the Flyers are still part of these bottom 7 teams. So they're not going to be escaping this hellhole for any longer. They're going to be in this dump throughout the rest of the entire season. So the more closer and closer that you get towards the trade deadline, you're going to hear all the rumors and stuff about Giroux, about Ristolainen, about Justin Braun, about Martin Jones. You're going to be hearing all these rumors, especially more and more and more as the season gets closer towards the trade deadline. And then once the trade deadline passes and the Flyers do whatever they do, they're probably not going to win any more games. Well, they're probably going to win a couple more games, but they're not. They're going to lose a lot more than they win. So if you're one of those people that hopes the Flyers lose out the rest of the season just to get the better draft pick, they're probably going to, they're still going to be in that bottom part of the standings. So there's, everyone, it makes our losing chances worse. It makes our odds worse to get the first overall pick. You're still going to be in the bottom of the standings. You'll still have at least a chance for a top 10 pick. So that's not the worst thing in the world. So, hey, Flyers going to win 2 wins in a row for this team. And looking at the upcoming schedule, the Flyers have 2 road games upcoming this week, Thursday and Saturday. You got Thursday at 7 p.m. against the Florida Panthers. That's going to be very tough. I wouldn't be surprised if the Flyers get annihilated against them. And then you got Saturday at 3 p.m. against the Carolina Hurricanes. Wouldn't be surprised if they get annihilated by them either. And they also have a back-to-back, I believe, on that Sunday as well at home against the Montreal Canadiens. So, going to be a very interesting week. 2 very tough opponents, and you're playing a team that's at the bottom of the NHL standings. A little bit of discrepancy there. So 2 top teams, 1 very below team. So really nothing in between. So it's going to be an interesting end to the week. Very, very interesting. So what are your thoughts on this game, everyone? What are your thoughts on Carter Hart's performance? What are your thoughts on just this 2-game win streak in general? Or are you just enjoying the wins while you can get them because they're going to be so scarce? And are you just waiting until the trade deadline to see what the hell ever happens? So I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. So don't forget to leave those down there. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to check out the panel lines, which I'm a part of. The links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Florida Pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is down in the description below. Do not forget to check those out. And like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you do is hit that sub button and also use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And I will